Torah portion Ekev, we're told something very interesting. There's an explicit verse that tells us, right, you're going to go into the land, and God tells us it's not for you being just and straight shooting and like a mensch that you get this land and that I chose you, but it's for the evil doings of the nations in this land. So he starts God by saying, they're evil, so I got to put you here. But we've just been told we're not good, so why are you putting us here? And he then says, because I swore to the fathers. Meaning, and this is how we usually understand this, the fathers were really good, they were straight, they saw God, they were a good reason to choose a people. But then, so far so good. But then we're reminded, Moses reminds us here of the sin, of the sinnings of the Israelites. And when God in the famous big sin says to Moses, let me annihilate them, I will make a new people out of you. Now essentially what this means is God saying, I'm changing the plan. God is saying, so I swore the oath to the forefathers, that's fine because you come from them. So God was willing and decided to, much like much like bringing the downpour of rain, the flood in the time of Noah, he was going to have like a flood of the Jewish people and annihilate all of us completely and continue with Moses. That was what was meant to be, meaning a people coming out of Moses. But then something interesting happens. Moses prays. He begs God, don't do this. Selflessly, right? He would have been the new Abraham. But he says, no, I'm begging you. And God says, fine. Meaning, it's now not only for the evil doings of the nations in the land, and not only for God's oath to the forefathers, but this week's Torah portion teaches us that it is also for the prayer and beggings of Moses that God continued with the Jewish people, that he continued with the people that were already there. And when you think about it, it's very symbolic that right after we're told about that, there is the reminding us of the episode of the first tablets and the second tablets. It's almost as if the first tablets, before Moses shatters them, symbolizes the Jewish people that were chosen solely out of an oath to the forefathers. But then once they're broken and the new tablets are the tablets that are created to remind us of that it's thanks to Moses who begged and prayed that we get to be here today. So when you think about it, this week's Torah portion is all about a new Jewish people, all solely thanks to Moses, who creates the real continuum, and perhaps there's a connection between that and between Moses shattering the tablets and creating new ones to sort of make us think about how it was almost something like this alternative history, and it becomes this. Thoughts on the Torah portion of Ekev? Shabbat Shalom.